Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Referral Exchange Networking's Business Success Fertilizer application. As we always say, it isn't easy competing with companies that are bigger than you and have greater resources. However, one advantage you can have is you can be smarter than they are. No one can tell you how much you can learn and how much of an expert and an asset you can be. That's why education is critical for small businesses. And that's why we at Referral Exchange strive to make you just a little bit smarter every week. So let's get right to it. This week, I'm talking about the years of wonder. The year was 1665, and the Great Plague was raging through the city of London. Upwards of 15% of the population died from what we now know as the bubonic plague. Experts estimate that over 100,000 people in London perished. Knowing this, who in their right mind would refer to these as the years of wonder? Well, the answer is historians, specifically biographers of Isaac Newton. Working from his home in Cambridge to avoid the plague, Newton took the summer of 1665 through the spring of 1667 off from his studies and responsibilities at Trinity College. That's right, Newton was working from home. Freed from the restrictions of limited curriculum and the rigors of university life, Newton had the time and space to develop his theories on calculus, optics, and the laws of motion and gravity. Newton said later in life, truth is ever to be found in simplicity, not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. While working for an English pharmaceutical company, I recall one incident that struck with me. I was sitting in my office, simply staring straight ahead. A colleague from the Home Office in the UK, David Baxter, was passing by my office, and he noticed me in this somewhat unusual state, and he asked, "Richard, what are you doing?" I replied honestly, "I'm thinking." Well, David got a big smile on his face, and he said, "Good. You Americans should do more of that." Well, the reason it stuck with me is I realized he was right. As stated in a Forbes article entitled "Why It's Okay to Do Nothing Sometimes for True Success," the author, Sarah Jean Brown, says, "Often we feel lazy if we stop to rest, but we are unable to sustain perfection. Instead, you should simply simplify your life and make your priorities more about purpose. Motivation will come from meaning. Do not feel like a failure for feeling like you need a break." I recently read, if you don't give yourself time to do nothing, you'll have nothing to give. Everything takes time. Water doesn't boil immediately. When you're cooking to extract the best flavors, you often must reduce the liquid to create the sauce. By concentrating, you get to the essence. As explained by Ms. Brown, breaks lead to breakthroughs. I know that all of us can recall a time when we found a solution to a problem only after we've rested and recovered from our efforts. Rest doesn't need to mean lying flat on your back and taking a nap, although sometimes that works for me. Rest can be different for different people. A break is anything that gives you a mental and sometimes physical respite from the routine of everyday normal. If you're like me, you'll admit that often we feel lazy and even guilty if we stop to rest. However, it is impossible to sustain perfection. If you feel like you need to take a break, you probably do. Just don't confuse this with procrastination. If you're truthful with yourself, you'll know the difference. Sometimes we need to focus on ourselves. We need to stop. We're slaves to the calendar and the to-do list, often mistaking activity for productivity. If you find yourself having trouble taking a break, you need to put it in your calendar. Look at your schedule and determine when you should stop. It's easy. We all know when during the day we start to lag. We know what can be rescheduled and what can't. So start there. Pick the best times and put a break right on your calendar. Don't accept meetings. Don't schedule phone calls. If you're someone who has trouble relaxing, think of something you like to do and do it. Reading, gardening, cooking, working out, whatever floats your boat. And above all, turn off the phone and silence your email alerts. As reported in Psychology Today, great ideas and discoveries don't come from thinking or doing, but from being. Well, I hope you found this a little bit helpful. That's it for this week. If you'd like to talk about anything you just heard, or you'd like to know more about how you can grow your business by joining a referral exchange networking chapter, or even how to start your own chapter, reach out to me at raustin@referralexchangenetworking.com. That's exchange with an X. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, thanks, folks. I hope you got something out of that, and I will see you all next week. Bye.